Trustee tax expert Dan Geltrude joins me now to react. And if you think about it, if the 2017 tax cuts are not extended later this year, and that of course is up to Congress, that's the work of Speaker Mike Johnson. We're talking. I heard President Trump say this before. It's a 45% jump in tax rates for Americans. So something has to be done.
Well, something definitely has to be done. But as far as President Trump saying that he needs to get Democrats on board, or that they will get on board, I don't think that's going to happen, Cheryl. He doesn't need them. And I think he's going to have to rely on reconciliation here so that there isn't going to be any filibuster. For example, when he's talking about lowering the corporate tax rate, if products are made in the United States, down to 15%, I don't see Democrats getting on board with that. Because remember, the mantra there is that the Trump tax cuts, and by the way, untrue, that they were geared towards the rich and for corporations. And we know that millions of Americans benefited from those tax cuts, which are going to expire at the end of 2025. So, yes, something needs to be done.
Dan, I can't see, though, Democrats putting some large tax increase on the heads and on the wallets of their constituents. I don't see that. There's a slim majority for the Republicans in the House, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Democrats on board. But who's not on board is blue state Republicans. You've got people like Congressman Mike Lawler of New York who say unless there is true meaningful change with the SALT deduction, then they're a no on any type of reconciliation package, any type of bill.
Yes, that is actually the big issue. Can we get all the Republicans together to vote to pass or keep in place the Trump tax cuts? But it's not going to happen unless something happens with SALT. No doubt about it. There's a thin majority in Congress for Republicans, and there are absolutely congressmen and women who are committing to say, hey, unless we lift that cap on the SALT deduction, or better yet, get rid of it altogether, we're not voting for it. So that is going to be a real challenge for President Trump to make sure that something happens with SALT that everyone can agree to, because there are Republicans who are against that.
All right, Dan Geltrude. Dan, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Cheryl.
All right.